It is another season of high school football on KBVO. Year 16, and like we have 14 of the previous 15 years, we started at House Park in downtown Austin. This is High School Football Live, brought to you by Thomas J. Henry. It is the neighborhood rivalry. This year, the Shoal Creek Showdown. McCallum and Anderson. I'm Roger Wallace alongside Keith Moreland. Keith, doesn't matter how hot it is. It was over 100 today. It's still not September, but man, this is the start of high school football in Central Texas. Always a special night here just north of downtown.
Yeah, you just look at it. Got the great view of downtown in the background. We have two teams that have played each other so many different times in one of the best rivalries here in Central Texas. Anderson has had the best of McCallum as of late, so see if the Knights can find a way to get it back going. It is like Christmas in August.
Yeah, football fans are fired up. All right, our coin toss is brought to you by Favor. Favor brings the store to your door in minutes with HEB now. And there you see the referee, Jeremy Tate, with the captains. These players have been thinking about this matchup all off season. You see Anderson fired up, and they are ready to go. And they'll switch it, and Anderson will kick it to start. And McCallum Knights, Keith, it's a Knights team that under Thomas Gammerdinger missed out on the playoffs for the first time in 9 years, while Donald Hatcher's Anderson Trojans got over the hump and made it to the postseason last year.
It's been a really great run for Coach Hatcher and Anderson Trojans. Obviously in a great district. They have moved down a level, quite frankly. That has helped them. And they have a bunch of people out in the program. The program is in ascending fashion. It is ready to take off, see if they can back that up. On the other side, when you look at the Knights, they haven't made many runs into the playoffs. They've got to find a way to score enough points. That is the big part of it. Is their defense has been really good. They got to find a way to put some points on the board.
And let's start it right here. You never know what they have up their sleeve on kickoffs and special teams. Ryan Ostbo is set to kick it off for Anderson. Mason White is back deep for McCallum, as well as Trey Lewis. So many times in these high school games, especially early, we do not see that deep kick. But there it is, and it's a good one. And just before we get started, a whistle. That's a break for McCallum because that was mishandled.
Yeah, there's.
I don't think they were ready to go.
I'm not sure the play was called ready for play
right, yet. Yeah, the referee who was back in the end zone is the one that whistled it. So, well, you get a little of that nervous energy out of your system.
Yeah, absolutely. They had 15 minutes on the scoreboard clock, and he calls timeout.
Right.
Saturday and throughout the country tonight, there's college football games. They play for 15 minutes. In high school, it's only 12. That's a huge break.
That's it. So we'll do it all over again with 12-minute quarters here. 23 years they called this one the Taco Shack Bowl. Anderson with that streak got the upper hand, and it was neck and neck for so long. And now, of course, the Shoal Creek Showdown. There you see the great crowd over on that Anderson side. McCallum, the designated home team this year, so that means those Anderson fans have to deal with that hot setting sun.
It is. But a gorgeous view of downtown. Ball just gets knocked off the tee. We're trying to get this thing going. It just hasn't been going quickly yet.
Well, we saw Ospo with a strong left. That was a screaming line drive that Mason White is trying to handle. Let's see what they do this time. And this is another strong kick, and White's going to, it hits him, and now he picks it up. Now he's committed, and White is going to be out to the 11. Nice job of recovering. Could have been a lot worse, but already, Keith, we talked to coaches, and they're always so concerned about special teams.
Yeah, that was one. You just let that ball go. You take it, get it out to the 25-yard line. You see the starting offense for the Knights, but they're going to start in tough field position back at the 12-yard line.
Aiden Eli is the quarterback. Last year they had a good one in Luke Dunham. He's a walk-on at Texas. Starting lineups are brought to you by Favor. Favor brings the store to your door in minutes. HEB now, and there you see Fitzpatrick. That running back position has been something Thomas Gammerdinger's really had to kind of figure out, and we'll see maybe if they open up this offense a little bit more as we'll get to that Anderson defense. And that is Devlin Fitzpatrick, fights for a couple of yards. Let's take a look at that Anderson defense, brought to you by favor. And again, this is a Anderson team led by those linebackers and Smith and McMillan. But the X factor, Keith, number 4, Yaheem Riley, played at LBJ last year, committed to play at the University of Texas. Obviously, one of the best safeties in the state of Texas.
Yeah, he is an outstanding player. He comes downhill, excellent tackler. He's also good in coverage. This is an Anderson team that's loaded. This is probably their most talented football team we've seen in a while.
McCallum, you can see Keith, deliberate right off the bat. They huddle up, kind of slow play it to the line of scrimmage, second down.
Hicks in the backfield now.
And that is Hicks, not much there, and immediately that's going to bring up a third down. Pierce Miller in on that tackle for Anderson. Mentioned McMillan and Hodges Smith, they combined for over 150 tackles last year from that linebacker spot.
They do a good job, 4-down linemen running everything. The lineman's job is to make sure they get to the linebackers, and the linebackers can make some tackles. Wanted to get into third down yardage here, but not 3rd and 8.
Yeah, you can see they are not in any hurry. This is a tough spot for a young quarterback. First possession, 3rd down and 8.
Got plenty of time on the play clock, though.
Inside your 15-yard line. Really like the tight end Hopper, number 8. They'll split him out. Eli E. rolls out, goes up top, and that one is over the head of Hopper. You can see some pressure coming at Eli E, and that's going to bring a punting situation for McCallum.
Yeah, he gets to the outside right here, but he can feel the pressure, couldn't get to it. There was contact at the end, but the ball was uncatchable. So there's no way you're going to get interference on the call, and it's a 3 and out. Special teams, that first punt, always tough.
Max Fullerton is back deep for McCallum, and it is Riley inside the midfield stripe. Punt is a good one. It's going to take a McCallum bounce, and Riley thought about it. Now will pick it up, and good coverage by McCallum, and a little indecision by Yaheem Riley, but still excellent field position for the Trojans' first offensive possession.
Well, when it hit the ground, a lot of times you'll see coaches say, just get away from it. And he tried to pick it up, did Riley. Fortunately, held on to it right here at the end. A lot of times you just don't pick it up, and he fumbled it there. He muffed it, and in time he got a hold of it. Boy, took a blow right at the end of it, right at the 50-yard line.
Mentioned new quarterback on McCallum's side, of course, Max Gerlich. Excellent quarterback at Anderson, now at UTSA. So Cove Derbyshire is the quarterback, and keep an eye on number 1, Caleb Crenshaw. He played at LBJ last year as well. Coach's son, Ben Hatcher, one of their top receivers, and here's Crenshaw on first down, over 1,100 yards last year, and runs behind that big offensive line led by left tackle Jay Gray.
Yeah, you're going to get a steady diet of number 1, one of the best running backs here in Central Texas. He's got the ability to run inside, and he has the speed to take it to the house.
Now you see number 5, Hugo Smith. Thomas Gammerdinger wasn't sure if he'd be able to go. He's one of their top defensive players. Tommy McIntyre in the middle. So a second down now for Anderson. You see the 2 backs, Jay Fulmer in there as well. Keeper Derbyshire there, and he's going to be a little bit short of the first down. Ethan Roberts the first to get him, the junior safety.
I like the motion, putting everybody to the outside, try to give everything going to the outside, bring it back to the weak side. Almost gets the first down, makes it 3rd and short.
Crenshaw, 5'10", 185. They're going to throw it on 3rd down, and Ballinger, big target there, and he's got the first down. Ball came out, but not before he's ruled down, so they...
Ballinger is down.
Yeah, that's a...
awkward tackle right at the end, and that is a big blow right here.
Yeah. Calvin Ballinger, the 6'4" senior, played defensive end last year, and this is a young man that dealt with an ACL his sophomore year. So difficult to see that at any point, but right out of the gates, your first possession, and we can see what a target he is, Keith.
Well, he does a great job. He's that big target in the middle. They run him on a quick seam and an RPO. and he's right there. It was just an odd tackle right at the end. You could tell that it was a little bit scary when I saw him go to the ground, and he immediately was writhing in pain.
Yeah, they're stretching out that left leg. Mentioned the quarterback, Derbyshire. Donald Hatcher really likes him and kept him on JV last year to get as many reps as he could, as opposed to bring him in and being Max Gerlich's backup, led him to a 9-1 record, and now ready to run this offense. Big kid, 6'2", 210, and see Ballinger up, but obviously he's not able to put a whole lot of pressure on that left leg. It's an Anderson team that won 7 games last year. They went 5-3 in District 12 5A. Got to the playoffs, lost in the first round to LaPorte. So Ballinger really limited in his ability to get off the field here as Anderson has the first down. The setting sun and a little breeze, Keith. Not bad here.
It's not bad. Not starting out as a 100-degree day.
Yeah, for opening night in high school football. Trey Leach comes in, the senior, to replace Ballinger at the tight end position. Here's Derbyshire on the roll, and he's got his man, and that is Fulmer out of the backfield fighting down inside the 15. Loses the helmet. Well, we can see what Donald Hatcher was talking about with his young quarterback.
Yeah, really nice job coming to the outside. I love how he gets his shoulders squared. A real combination route. Clear with the outside receiver and drag the inside receiver to the outside. Nice pitch and catch down inside the 20.
So a trip in the red zone for the Trojans. They stack the left side with those 3 receivers. Derbyshire keeps it on the zone read and right up the middle for the touchdown. Cove Derbyshire with the first score of the season for Anderson. You have to respect Crenshaw, Keith, and he pulled it and took it to the house.
Well, the other part of that is this is a read. You can see it right here. Everybody goes to the outside. He pulls it out, and then watch him finish. He's a big man himself. Finishes, gets into the end zone, a 5-play, 50-yard drive, and Trojans draw first blood.
Well, we saw Derbyshire on display with the arm and the legs. Now that look, here's McMillan, runs the option into the end zone, 2-point conversion, good, and Anderson. First drive, first points of the season. They lead it 8-0. You're watching high school football on KXAN.
It only takes a second for a routine drive to turn into a life-changing collision. Whether it's a car, motorcycle, or distracted driver behind the wheel, the impact can be devastating. At Thomas J. Henry, we know what that moment feels like, and we know how to fight for the justice and compensation you deserve. From the first call to the final verdict, our team is by your side every step of the way. Thomas J. Henry, the name you know, the firm you trust.
In a city that never stands still, KXAN News brings clarity to a place that isn't just weird.
It's vibrant,
evolving, and unmistakably home.
And mornings here can really move.
Except sometimes the traffic.
Yeah, Austin's a city in motion.
And it needs a morning newscast that covers it all at the speed of now. Mornings on KXAN News Today.
KXAN Game Day Weather Forecast brought to you by A+ FCU. Join Austin's best credit union and live your A+ life. Well, didn't take those Trojans long, Keith. Last year, big first half, 57 points, and they get on the board 8-0.
That was a 5-play, 50-yard drive. Took 2:12 off the clock, and a really nice play-action play. It's an RPO, even though it's a run. You read, saw the open up inside, took it to the house. Going to be important here to see if McCallum can answer.
And I think McCallum had 11 guys on the field, so have to do it again. If you can tell, McCallum going with those Guardian caps on their helmet. Lots of schools and at every level use them in practice, but McCallum opting to play in games with those Guardian caps, so that's why helmets might look a little bit different to you.
I'm not sure what the holdup was right there. There was
they didn't have 11.
Yeah.
23 came running on the field. Now,
I know he came out on the field, but
it was nice of them to wait for him.
Yeah.
It's Fitzpatrick, the running back. So we'll do it again. They flip White and Trey Lewis. And they kick it away from Lewis. White's going to field it at about the 9-yard line. And he's got a chance here. Nice opening initially. And boy, a shoestring tackle by Summit Flowers at the 32, or he would have taken that even further.
He had a shot to get that back to the inside. Good open field tackle to bring him down. Much better starting field position for the Knights. Get a first down first, get into the flow. It's the first game, just get into the rhythm. For the Knights, they've got to have good yardage. No negative plays on first down is going to be important in this ballgame.
And you know, Thomas Gammerdinger wants to get his young quarterback, Eli E., kind of unlocked and have something positive happen. Fitzpatrick hit and just nowhere to go. That defensive front for Anderson. That was Max Middleton, their senior defensive end, number 91.
Well, he just
coming from the backside. Actually, Middleton was trailing the play.
11 got in there, big linebacker.
Hodges Smith.
Yeah.
Smith, their leading tackler last year with 81, and again they'll stay deliberate.
A little bit different look with an H-back here.
Keep it on the ground, but just no way to penetrate that front seven. That time it was Middleton on Fitzpatrick.
Trying to get when you're trying to run a counter trade, what that means, folks, you're pulling the off guard and tackle, trying to get it out in front of your running back. If they get interrupted with penetration, they can't get around the corner, and that penetration just stopped the play before it even started.
And now you probably got to deal with some pressure on that last third down. Anderson's Liam McMillan, I mean, he put a blow on the back trying to protect, and now they're having trouble getting the play in, and Thomas Gammerdinger is going to have to take a timeout. Play clock was inside of 10, so a little miscommunication for McCallum. Well, obviously, for so many reasons, this is a big play. You don't want to give it right back to Anderson. You're probably going to give it back again, giving them good field position.
No question. You would love to get something, and I worried about the play clock. I believe the play clock was not reset totally, and that you can see the conversation right here, because he felt like that they didn't get the normal a complement of time in between snaps and had to use a timeout.
Yeah, everybody kind of getting their feet under them.
Yeah, this playing before Labor Day is such a weird thing. It seems to be, you know. They don't really call it 0 week because pretty much everybody plays this week.
And the other thing, Keith, and AISD started a little bit later, but when they start school, all of a sudden you're not in that training camp schedule, so
yeah,
you don't quite have that freedom of time. Now they started last Monday, so they did have a week, or 2 weeks rather, because they started practice on the first allowed Monday on August 4th. So there we go, big third down for McCallum. Pressure coming, and there's McMillan, and he throws a pick. The pressure coming from Hodges Smith, rather, and the interception by Tate Haynes, and he was right there to make the catch.
Haynes did such a great job. Right at the end of it, he's playing corner. He just falls back into his safety, into his zone, and he just uses his eyes on the quarterback and does a great job of going down, making sure he can scoop it, hold on to it. Just an outstanding job of playing zone right there. When you have multiple people coming into your zone, you got to sit right in the middle of it. He did it perfectly right there.
So even better field position for Anderson's second possession after the interception. There's Crenshaw, patient. Late flag coming in. This one might be coming back.
I think this is going to be a hold. It will back up the Trojans 10.
Hats off to the Spirit squads from both schools, the bands. They were out here about 5:30 this morning for our KXAN morning newscasts and Spirit competition. It's been a long day for these dance teams and
it is, but it's the first game of the year. Come on.
Now they might be feeling it tomorrow morning.
Yeah, not tomorrow might be different. You think they might be called in sick?
Derbyshire, and that one's a little short. Pressure coming that time, forced the short throw, and that was Tommy McIntyre, the senior linebacker.
McIntyre is that guy that makes the plays for this defense. He leads them in tackles. They thought maybe he was going to play a little running back, but he's so much more comfortable in that middle linebacker position, and he makes things happen. And just the pressure, couldn't step into it, came up short.
Second down and 20 for Anderson. Crenshaw in the backfield. They just dump it down to Crenshaw and let him do his thing. Nice open field tackle right there, but still not an 8-yard pickup. That'll bring up third down.
That's
Hensley.
Yeah, it's just, you talked about it. It is so difficult to bring down a running back in the open space when he's got a head of steam and can make a move. Just a really nice job of staying at home and making that tackle. That's a good play.
Yeah, Junior Hudson Hensley in the open field. So third and long for the Trojans. Remember, Anderson also had to replace one of the top receivers in Central Texas, Ed Small. He was huge in this game over the years. Derbyshire over the middle, complete, little bit short of the first down, but little doubt what they're going to do here on fourth down, and that's the backup tight end, Leach. How about that throw, Keith?
Well, it's a really nice job in the middle. You get to see it right here, right at ground level. Sees what it is. Boy, coverage was excellent right there. I hate to think it's a big play with 4 minutes to go in the first quarter, but this is a big play.
Yeah, no doubt. Cooper Hensley, the safety with that tackle, but it's a full 3 yards Anderson needs on fourth down here. Little mix-up in the backfield. Derbyshire chased down, and Derbyshire retreating, and he just throws it away, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, miscommunication on the handoff, Roger.
Yep. Great job by McCallum to take advantage of that. Got enough pressure. Obviously, Derbyshire had to try to make a play on fourth down. It wouldn't have mattered if it was a grounding or not. It was going to be a turnover. There you see.
Yeah, but by getting that ball out of his hands, he saved 22 yards.
No doubt. Summit Flowers was the last. They got pressure from a lot of different places, but Flowers the last one. So, Keith, interception, short field, but that holding penalty put Anderson behind the chains, and now McCallum has their third possession.
Yeah, and just, it was such a huge play in the game, and don't know what the outcome of the game's going to be, but if the Knights are going to come back and get involved in this ball game, that's going to be a big part of changing the momentum of this game.
They just like to get a little offense going here.
A first down.
A couple of 3-and-outs. Quarterback draw. There's room. Eli showing his speed, gets to the edge, and then slides down. So the biggest play of the ball game by far is Aiden Eli. A little different look that time with the quarterback draw.
Yeah, they spread everybody out, put motion in, and as a counter draw, set up, nice block right at the point of attack, and gets in. And then I like that. Get down.
Makes a business decision.
Yeah, that was a business decision.
So, first down, first trip into Anderson territory for McCallum. Jax Hicks in the backfield. Talked about him. New to the running back position. Played safety primarily. Here's Hicks trying to cut it back, but runs into that wall. That'll bring up second down.
Yeah, this front seven has been outstanding so far for the Trojans. They have just gotten penetration, controlling the line of scrimmage. There's no gaps, no move. Every time you try to make a move to find a little seam, there's been nothing there.
50, Zach Seselak with the tackle for Anderson, so a loss of a yard. And McCallum stays deliberate.
A little two-back set here.
Play clock inside of 5 now. Eli E, the give, nothing doing there. Again, that backside pressure, Pierce Miller, and it's going to bring up third down at about 10.
Boy, he timed that perfectly. Roger, coming off the corner. Watch right at the top. He was coming. It was a run blitz. I mean, blitzes are blitzes. He just happened to be against a running play, but nice job of getting the corner and timed it perfectly.
Well, they just can't get much push up front either. So they'll take this down inside of 2 minutes when they run this third down. But again, this is the third time they've had third and long on their 4 possessions, or their 3 possessions rather, after the first down run by Eli E. Need to get down to the 35. If they get close, probably would go for it. Now time called, and second timeout is used by Thomas Gammerdinger. We'll step aside. Short message from Thomas J. Henry.
For over 30 years, Thomas J. Henry has been in the fight for those who have been injured in Texas. With over $1 billion delivered to our clients in the last 4 years and more than 13,000 5-star reviews, our dedication to life-changing results is clear. But don't just take our word for it. Hear from those who've experienced the difference. Thomas J. Henry. The name you know, the firm you trust.
Roger Wallace, Keith Moreland with you from House Park as we kick off our 16th season of high school football on KBVO. Anderson McCallum. Well, McCallum obviously want to be deliberate. You think about 1:46 to go. Anderson's only had 2 possessions, a touchdown, and turn it over on down. So in that regard, McCallum kind of doing what they want, but they need to finish one of these drives with points here in the first half.
Yeah, they did get that big play. They've had 1 first down in this first quarter, and they got it on a big play. Now it's going to be tough. I do not think this is 4-down territory. They need to make this third down. If they don't, I think they'll punt it away.
See if they bring the pressure. Smith and McMillan, those 2 linebackers, we've seen them both blitz on third down. This time they rush forward. They give it to Hicks. Hicks gets to the outside. He's got a first down and more. Little delay there to Jax Hicks. And there's a big third down conversion for the Knights.
Well, it's a counter. They put the motion. Watch it coming this way. Now watch the counter action. Come back to the outside. Everybody sliding to the left, going back to the left against that counter. Nice run to the outside. Told us it. He had a little giddy up, did Hicks, that little burst, and you saw it right there.
You saw the junior guard, Graham Anderson, get downfield and got that final block to make sure Hicks got the first down. That right side of the line, a concern for Thomas Gammerdinger. They suffered some injuries during training camp, and nice job by Anderson there. So, first down for McCallum. They go back to Hicks, cuts it up, and then falls forward for a couple, but here comes a flag, and this might be 1st and 20 for the Knights.
Knight player is injured. He'll have to go to the ground.
Yeah, they're already thin on that offensive line. We'll get the call from Jeremy Tate. Yep, so well, it's so difficult get a little momentum, you get a big third down conversion, and now it's 1st and 20.
Yeah, you feel like, hey, we're going in the right direction, and then you get, not only, this is a double whammy. You're thin up front, and one of your guys up front is down, and you get a holding penalty. So it will back him up 10, and you got to hope that he's okay. He tried to get up, and not sure what number it was.
Yeah, that's their center, Mauricio Esparza.
Oh, my word. That's more important. That's one of the veterans.
Yep. So now they'll have to figure that out. They've got Fissel, the left tackle, working with Eli over there on the side, making snaps, so they might have to make some changes. Esparza's walking off, but favoring that left leg. Of course, we saw Ballinger, the fine tight end for Anderson, go down on the first series that they had the ball. So we'll see how McCallum plays it here. They got a 1st and 20. They got a big play from Eli on 1st down, and then a big 3rd down run from Jax Hicks. But now behind the chains here with just over a minute and a half to go in the 1st quarter.
And you worry about this first snap. There's no question. You're just worried about can get into the flow right here.
It will be Fissel. And that means Nesh Wagner comes in, and Wagner will play left tackle. So 1st and 20. The give to Hicks. Nice cut back, and he gets some yardage back. Now more late action. But when you combine game 1 with guys you know so well from the neighborhood, and you can get a little extra.
It means a lot. And it's meant a lot for a long time.
Inside of a minute to go here with maybe a 2-yard gain. They'll call it 3, 2nd down and 17. But
I don't expect them to put it in the air here. Maybe some kind of counter, try to get something on the edge, and maybe take it to the end of the quarter.
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt if the clock doesn't stop, they'll go ahead and wait for the 2nd quarter. And well, here's Eli. Looks like he wants to throw, backing up, and he throws the pick. 2nd interception. He was off his back foot. There is a flag about where he threw the ball. The interception was from Alex Longoria, the safety.
Yeah, there's a flag back here, like you said, and then maybe one at the end because helmet went flying, ball went flying. Let's see what happens here.
See, McCallum looks like they're going to be staying on the field with their offense, so that might have been a late hit on Eli. Well, no, now they're coming off. So Alex Longoria, the Ranger.
Roughing the passer.
Okay, so that is going to be an automatic 1st down. Wow, huge penalty right there.
Look, watch it right here at the end, folks, as he scrambles to the outside and he gets rid of it. Boy, that is,
yeah, at any level.
Helmet, at any level. That's
yep.
Helmet to helmet.
Went high. So McCallum
resets the chains.
Yeah, now inside the 25-yard line. Boy, Anderson, a couple of big penalties. One helping stall a drive, and here extending a drive for McCallum. And the Knights can go ahead and continue this drive. Now the game clock doesn't move, so they'll have to snap it here. Hicks in the backfield. High snap. Eli tries to get to the edge, breaks one tackle, smacked down by Smith, and that should take us to the end. And now more flags. Boy, this is where the coaching staff's got to be frustrated, just giving away yardage on emotion. So they'll stop the clock.
Let's watch the end of this as he gets to the outside. See anything right there. Helmet came out. Now, it might have been a little taunting at the end of it.
Yeah. Well, the quarterback got his helmet knocked off, and he gets caught.
Yeah.
Well, that's big. So a 15-yard penalty the other way. It was going to be 2nd down and 6 or 7. And it was going to be on to the second quarter now, all the way back to the 35-yard line. So now it's going to be 2nd and 21.
They're going to roll the clock here. It'll take us to the quarter.
It'll take us to the quarter. Well, McCallum on the move, thanks in big part to a penalty, but now self-inflicted. They've got a tough spot here as we begin the second quarter. McCallum trailing Anderson. Beautiful downtown Austin high school football on KBVO.
Shift into a more affordable auto loan by refinancing with A+ FCU, Austin's best credit union. With our A+ Beat Your Rate offer, save 1% APR or more off your current auto loan rate and get on the road to living your A+ life. With lower monthly payments, less interest, and a faster loan payoff. Apply today at aplusfcu.org/beatyourrate.
At Howdy Honda, it's all about great volume, and volume. A great volume of inventory with nearly 700 new Honda models to choose from, like Civic, CR-V, Pilot, Accord, and more. In stock and ready for immediate delivery. A great volume of savings with big discounts, incredible lease specials, and even low APR financing options. All of this matched with a great volume of customer service. It's easy to see why we're the #1 volume Honda dealer in Central Texas. Get to Howdy Honda today, where it's all about volume.
That's your Covert Ford Austin fan cam here at House Park as we begin the second quarter. Anderson and McCallum. Anderson up 8-0. They scored on their first possession, and then they got a pick but couldn't score. McCallum on the move, but they just got hit with a big unsportsmanlike penalty, so they've got a 2nd and 21 here to start the second quarter. If you're wondering what's up, I think they're down an official. One of the officials came right by us and was going to the press box. I think they might be having some clock issues, so they're trying to take care of that. Of course, you know, it's fitting, Keith, for years. Years, Noah Gross has been patrolling the sidelines and complaining about how hot he was. And then finally, we sit outside here as they undergo some renovations, and Noah's not here, and so he can't not complain to us because we're out in the same elements. But he's back watching in the office where it's about 67 degrees.
Thanks to our entire crews that's out in here. Put us at least on the west side where it is bearable with the sun setting behind us and a little breeze and a gorgeous view of downtown Austin.
No doubt. I mean, great vantage point here. We're at about the 40-yard line, and there you see it. Of course, first weekend of high school football. We'll be down south at Burger Stadium next Thursday night for Vista Ridge and Bowie. Of course, don't forget, on KXAN Plus tomorrow, we've got Westlake football, Westlake and Prosper tomorrow night. You can watch that live on our streaming app, KXAN Plus. You can download it for free, and that'll be live. And then later on in the weekend or early next week, we'll be able to archive this game. So if you didn't have a chance to record it, caught it late, you can go to KXAN Plus and watch this. But Chaparrals and Prosper, that should be a good one. Yeah, 2-year non-district series. They play that one up at Mary Hardin Baylor in Belton, so neither team has to make that full drive.
We have an official back.
So all right, we're at full strength.
We have a full crew.
That's right. All right, so 2nd down and 21 as we begin the second quarter.
Sixth play of the drive, Roger.
Different look here for McCallum. Direct snap, and that is Cooper Hensley. Hensley takes the snap, and now Eli comes back in, so a different look there. They load up the line of scrimmage, and got some positive yards, but still you got to get.
Yeah, nice job but you don't want the quarterback taking those blows and try to throw the ball. But nice job, just an old single wing, line it up, got to the outside. Now big third down here. Clock is moving.
Yeah, we got some scoreboard issues with the down and distance. It is third down, and it's third and about 18. So third and 18 here for McCallum. And now I think
third timeout.
Yeah, that's it. Thomas Gammerdinger's out at timeouts.
You know, you try to put a lot of stuff in. You talked about coming back to school, so you don't have this much time, and trying to get everything, and having some players down after their scrimmages. You know, he talked to us, as the coach did this week, and said, you know, we got guys doing some other things. And he said, we got to be shrink a little bit on what we're doing offensively, and it's showing up right now. That you can tell guys trying to get the signals in, trying to get to the. I think if they get guys back, and as the season goes on, you won't see this.
You know, one thing interesting, because you always worry about penalties, but it's not been the pre-snap penalties.
No.
And that's typically in an opener. You might get more of that, but you've got a late hit. You got some unsportsmanlike. Well, you figured a realistic fourth down, they might go no matter what just because of the field position. But if you're McCallum, boy, at least I'd like to get it inside of 4th and 10 if you can't come up with a real big play right here. Last time on 3rd and long, Anderson did not blitz. Now they are, and they run that receiver screen to Hensley, and Hensley breaks a couple of tackles, stays on his feet, and at least takes it inside the 20-yard line to give him a much more manageable 4th down. What a nifty throw, a tough angle for Eli E. Must play a little baseball.
I'm telling you, how did he get it through that? He dropped down a little sidearm pitch to the outside, a really nice run. Almost got, but it got what you were talking about. It made it inside 10 yards here on a 4th down play. I don't think you'll see field goal. I think you'll see them go for it. No, it looks like they're lining up for a field goal attempt.
Ben Pitts. Now Hensley's the holder. We saw him take that snap earlier, but Pitts from about 27, or 37 rather, got some breeze. And the kick is up, and that's going to be short. So McCallum finds a little offense, stalled by the penalty, but got to 4th and 8 right at the 20-yard line, opt for the field goal attempt. Anderson will take over.
Just does have a little breeze behind him, just didn't get enough elevation to get any help from that breeze. Goes over on downs.
Anderson's got to feel like it's been about 45 minutes since they had the ball. We had a long drive, we had some delays, we had an injury, the quarter. So here come the Trojans, just their 3rd possession of the ball game. Crenshaw tries to get to the outside. Good pursuit, and still Crenshaw breaks tackles. Now he's loose. Crenshaw, a foot race. Tracked down from behind, and Crenshaw says, no way. Touchdown, Caleb Crenshaw. Unbelievable run for the Trojan. 80 yards. Keith, he was bottled up. No chance, and he disappeared.
3 different times had opportunities to get him, and then he shows you what he can do at the end. Watch this, bottled up right here. Has to bounce back to the inside. You think, oh, they got him right here. Now, right here, makes that one move, breaks one tackle, and then it's a foot race. And he just turns on the accelerator right here. Busts one more tackle, his 4th of the run for the 80-yard touchdown.
Well, that was special. He not only was bottled up, Keith, he nearly stumbled and fell over. Extra point, good from Osbo, and just like that, Anderson up 15-0 we're in game 1, Keith, and you're not going to see many better runs than that one. Timeout on the field.
When you've been injured, there's one firm that won't back down. With the size, strength, and reputation to handle any case, They're one of the largest and most respected personal injury firms in Texas. And numbers don't lie. With over $1 billion in clients' pockets in just 4 years. What other law firm can say that? Thomas J. Henry. The name you know. The firm you trust.
If you're thinking about a compact tractor and you want the best, you can afford a Kubota. Check out the new Kubota L2502 package deal. A front loader, a rear mower, a box blade, and a trailer, all for one low price. U-Haul Kubota is your Kubota dealer.
Anyone who needs jewelry, Kruger's is the spot to go. It's the family feeling that you get as soon as you walk in the door.
The vibe feels like original Austin, and that's what I love about it.
It's their knowledge of their product.
We love coming here.
We sure do.
Come see us downtown.
As dynamic a touchdown run as you'll see this weekend, Caleb Crenshaw, the outstanding back for Anderson, goes 80, and just like that, it's a 2-score lead.
Well, it was the best run, the best run we've seen in a long time, and it's game one. Like you said, there was 3 different times he was bottled up, and he showed you not only his ability and his agility to get out of a tackle, and then he showed you his speed on the back end to take it to the house.
So just like that, how things changed, Keith. McCallum looked like they had something going there. Yep. They got into Anderson territory. They were eating clock. Missed field goal, 80 yards, 15-0. White and Flowers back deep. That's going to be Trey Flowers. Takes it on the 7. Had a pretty good opening. It closes up, takes it out to about the 25-yard line, and here come the Knights again.
Opportunity to see if they can come out again. Win first down is so important. They haven't been able to do that very often. When they've had the one successful drive that they had of 7 plays, they got a big first down play, and that sort of get them in rhythm.
Well, they did some different things. They ran the quarterback. They ran that little bubble to Hensley and ran out of a direct snap to Hensley. Now haven't had a chance to get it to Hopper, their big tight end. He's split out right side of your screen. They go receiver screen, but it is diagnosed and blown up by Grayson Lake.
Oh, you're right. Lake reads this, sees it right away. No chance for Hopper to get to the block. He was trying to get there to get the block out of him, and he just beat him to the point of attack.
And this has been a problem for McCallum. The negative plays early in drives, and now they're behind the chains again. Fitzpatrick in the backfield. Want to take a shot. Hopper never looked up, and it was nearly picked off, and that'll bring up 3rd and long. Longoria nearly got his 2nd pick.
Yeah, Hopper started just trying to finish his route. He never looked back for the football. So no pass interference on the play. Ball was uncatchable, but now clock stop, and you got 3rd and long.
Eli E. Trejo, the motion man. They give it to Fitzpatrick on the little delay, but not much there. Just back to the original line of scrimmage, and now McCallum's going to have to give it back.
Roger, you mentioned it. It's been first down. The success offensively has been stymied because they've had negative plays on first down, and so they put themselves in a position that they can't get any rhythm and get into what they want to do, and that's run the football.
So Pitts' punt is out of bounds, and that's going to give it back to Anderson with good field possession.
They're going to mark it out at the 45-yard line.
That was Fullerton, rather. So, danger zone here for McCallum. They're down 15, and Anderson just a one-play 80-yard drive to Crenshaw. Derbyshire with Crenshaw in the backfield, and
didn't like the formation. Called timeout from the sidelines.
So Anderson takes their first timeout of the half. Anderson will take on Elgin next week, while McCallum and Travis will meet up.
You look down the line at the, I know you're looking at that schedule. There's it's some different matchups. It's the second year in a row that different districts, so to speak, and what you're playing in. It's just odd sometimes when I look at those matchups and go, well, that's not used to seeing that matchup. There's a lot of different matchups that both these teams have that we haven't seen over the years.
Yeah, we've got a good one at Dripping Springs tomorrow. This has always become a nice opening night game. Vandergrift, the reigning 6A Division II state champions, against a Dripping Springs program. Galen Zimmerman's always got them competitive. Arlington Martin and Lake Travis. Lake Travis has a small window of home games. They've got to move away from Cavalier Stadium for some renovations. Here's Derbyshire. Wants to go deep and a little bit underthrown. That was intended.
Young quarterbacks. Derbyshire is you can tell he's got good composure. But if you're going to throw the what I call the fly, where you're just trying to lay it up, the bucket ball in the corner, you got to get it out of your hands. He waited that time trying to get his receiver open, and the ball came up short because of that, because the receiver's going to take off. You got to lay it up when he's 12, 15, 18 yards down the field, let him run to it.
That was intended for Kyler Sharp. They really like him. Here comes Crenshaw, this time nothing doing. In fact, he'll lose a couple of yards, and that'll bring up third down and long. Tucker Satterfield in on the tackle, but that penetration also off the edge from Hudson Hensley, number 6.
Well, Hensley made the play, forced Crenshaw back to the inside, and sort of knocked him off his pins. Big, huge play here. Need to force a punt.
Blitz look from McCallum. Derbyshire wants to go with the receiver screen, but McCallum has it defended nicely. And we'll see what Donald Hatcher does here. That was Fulmer. They split him out.
That's just a real nice recognition, though, from the defense. That's schooled during the week, study, said, hey, when they do this, they're going to come back to a bubble screen. I think they're going to take this down, run time off the clock. I would be really surprised if they go for it here on 4th down.
Yeah, I mean.
Well, they are.
Or, you know, Derbyshire could pooch punt this. Nope, they're going to throw it. Blitz coming, and he is still on his feet. Now he stumbles. Derbyshire throwing. Got a man wide open. Fulmer catches it. Touchdown, Anderson. Unbelievable 4th down play. Cove, Derbyshire to Jay Fulmer.
What an individual effort. How did he get out of that mess? I mean, coming after him, looking down the field, defense in his face. It looks like they got him for all intents and purposes right here. Got him wrapped up. He's strong enough to break away from that. Great block right here. And then the wherewithal to see it and on the run makes a perfect strike to a wide open receiver for the touchdown.
I'm telling you, Tyson Thompson, number 44, right at him. And Derbyshire, 6'2", 210, just able to stay on his feet. We're going to have a unsportsmanlike after the play on Anderson. Touchdown counts, and Boy, now we got back-to-back highlight reel touchdowns.
I'm just telling you, both of them are unbelievable. Roger, even in your description of the play-by-play, you had him on the ground. I thought he was on the ground.
Yeah, I mean, Crenshaw did it. Looked like he was done and went 80. Well, Donald Hatcher told us he really liked Derbyshire. He just wanted him to play last year, so they kept him on the JV. Extra point, good. More extracurriculars, and there comes some more flags. So this one getting a little out of hand. Now McCallum's going to be up against it here. I think that's going to go against the Knights. 6:50 to go here in the second quarter. And
well, there was already one going to be happening already.
So it might be offsetting.
So because there was one that there was going to be assessed on the kickoff.
By Anderson, right.
By Anderson. So now it could be just back to the regular 40-yard line.
Well. Yep. So I think Jeremy Tate's explaining just that. One way, that was going to be assessed on the kickoff, one the other way, but well, I don't know if we have that one again, but it's worth another look. Cope Derbyshire. I mean, watch 44 Tyson Thompson. Not only does he look like he has it, but he's coming up the middle. That's always the toughest for a quarterback, right there.
I mean, he's got a hold of both sides of his shoulder pads into the outside, and then the wherewithal. And right here, that's not an easy throw. He's got a wide open receiver, but just a nice job of delivering the football. That's spectacular play. Great individual effort.
So 22-0, Anderson on top in this one. And as you mentioned, when it's all said and done, they'll just be back kicking off at the 40-yard line.
I mean, these young men go to elementary and junior high together. The schools are very close, and it's always pretty spirited, and we have usually quite a few penalties because of that.
Yeah. Heated in more ways than one.
Yes,
Warm
sir.
evening. Here's the deep kick. Hensley takes it inside the 5. Breaks it up, and then he is brought down right at the 25-yard line. Maybe just beyond. And well, Callum needs something good to happen here. 6:44 to go, and remember, Anderson will get the ball to start the second half.
Yeah, again, I've mentioned it 3 times, folks, but when you're struggling a little bit offensively, the first thing is to have some production on first down. And they just have gone in negative yardage on first down instead of positive yardage. They need something going forward, whether it's just 2 yards, just something going toward moving the chains.
Eli, the quarterback. Now, nowhere to go, trying to keep it, but, I mean, Anderson just loading up the box and no running lane.
Well, doing a nice job. Just, you're right, stopping, no chance. Penetration gets in the backfield. There's just no place for the blockers to go. Able to get it back to the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 10.
Not much there. Probably another loss of a half yard on the Fitzpatrick run. Officials timeout.
I think this might be a water break, hydration break.
Hydration break. So this was something agreed upon by the coaching staffs before the game, midway through the second quarter here.
And I think that's a proper move on a day that was 100 degrees. And obviously, these guys have been working out in the heat. And they're happy that the sun's gone and we have a little breeze and it's cooled off a little bit. And we're happy that there's no moisture just for one reason, because we're outside.
That's right. No doubt about it. So, a couple of impressive individual efforts on touchdowns after the Trojans scored on their first drive on a quarterback zone read keeper by Derbyshire.
Well, they had success on a bubble screen, 3rd and long the last time. Spread out here with 4 wide receivers.
And Eli gets it off, too tall, pressure coming from the backside, and McCallum's gonna have to punt it away. Middleton applying the heat.
Yeah, he was coming from the backside to just really nowhere to go with the football. He sort of hung up in the air on the outside, nowhere to go with it, and they'll have to punt it away here.
So 5:43 to go here in the first half at House Park, and all Anderson Trojans, they lead it 22-0. Bring Eli in as a protector. That's the quarterback. Riley back deep for Anderson.
That's going to have to back him up 5 yards for delay.
No, Yaheem Riley wants to get into the act with as dynamic as he is. McCallum covered that first punt well on him. Short kick and then backs up, and this one will barely not even get to where the first down marker is. So great field position for Anderson, and McCallum really just trying to hang on right now.
Yeah, ball came off the side of his foot. You would hope that maybe you could get some kind of forward roll. It actually kicked to the side, no return, but another short field at the 35-yard line. Mark it at the 36.
So this Anderson offense come up with a couple of dynamic plays, and here's the producer of one of them, Crenshaw. Nice open field tackle right there by Cooper Hensley.
Hensley does a nice job staying home. Watch him hold his position as Crenshaw tries to bounce it to the outside and just hold, and then don't let him cut back to the inside, and wraps up those pegs and puts him on the turf.
Loss of about 3 on the play. They'll call it 2. Derbyshire rolling, got his man. That's Hatcher, top returning receiver. Another flag after the play. That's Ben Hatcher, the senior. It's under 560 yards of receiving last year. Caught a couple of touchdowns in this game.
Nice route to the outside, but you can just see once you get into outside of the field to play, you can't keep attacking. That's going to cost 15 more.
Yeah. Frustration there, but marked all the way down inside the 15-yard line. Well, was it offsetting?
just marked it at the 20.
Okay. They picked
I
up
saw the flag.
I did too. All right, first down. Crenshaw right at the middle, tries to break it outside. That time they got the numbers to get him down, but man, he is got that cutting ability.
That jump step, watch this jump step right in the middle. This isn't a herd of people. Watch the little jump step right there. And that little jump step gets him an extra 3 yards.
Another personal foul, this time a face mask. So that's going to make this a first down. And
this will be first and goal.
Penalty yardage just piling up. All the way down inside the 10-yard line. Derbyshire keeps it up the middle, down to about the 2. Boy, big and strong and leaning forward.
This might be our first penalty that was somebody lined up off sides or somebody moved, because it didn't look like there was a hold or anything, but there was a penalty flag on the ground. It may be lined up in the neutral zone.
Yeah, they're going to talk to the Anderson side and their head coach Donald Hatcher in his 4th year. That 4th year always special, Keith, because it's that class that came through with you, and even more special because his son Ben was part of that first class when he came in to become the head coach.
Yeah, and their numbers are so good right now. A lot of people in the program.
40 seniors, not. I mean that's
just impressive.
Yeah, for a 5A program to have 40 seniors on your roster. So it'll be 1st and 8. They take the penalty. Here's the give, and touchdown Crenshaw. And Anderson has busted this one open inside of 4 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Crenshaw with his 2nd rushing touchdown. And see again that
jump step
cut ability right there. 1-2. Nothing doing.
That left foot hits the ground, he gets north and south, and this just burst into the end zone. Maybe going for 2 here again.
Yeah.
They are.
Derbyshire, the fake, the throw over the middle, and it's caught. And that is Fulmer with the 2-point conversion, and Anderson now leads it 30-0 here in the second quarter. We'll keep it here. We thought McCallum was going to have to play a clean game and make some big plays and get some breaks, and it looked like when it was 7-0 and they were on the move, maybe they could tie it up. But boy, once Anderson got a couple of score leads, it's just hard for that McCallum offense to get anything consistent.
Yeah, they just have not been good on first down, which if you're not good on first down makes really third downs very hard, and they've been sort of behind the chain, so to speak, all night. On the other side, when you look at Anderson, they've come out and done their thing. This is a team that's going to be reckoned with. And this is going to be one of the better 5A teams anywhere in Central Texas, and again, they're going to be fun to watch as this year goes on.
Stick around, we'll have the halftime performances from both Anderson and McCallum, the dance teams and the band. Always a great show and just a great atmosphere here at packed bleachers on both sides on a beautiful evening to open up the high school season.
Yeah, with a drone right over the top of us.
Yeah, how about that?
And a big one.
Real big.
I've been watching it for a while.
Last last year. 97 points between the two teams, 57-40. Two previous ones, though, all Anderson. That was after a late McCallum touchdown to secure a 14-13 win some 4 years ago. And Hensley hit in midair, not able to get back to the 25. And now another post-play penalty.
The celebrations at the end of plays have cost both sides. It's an emotional game, there's no question. Because of that, you see some of that. Well, I will guarantee you when film time comes, there will be a lot of folks that would probably not enjoy that film session.
Yeah, and now they'll give McCallum some of their best starting field position of the night, as they have 3:52 to go here, and they'll snap it just inside their own 40-yard line, or right at the 40-yard line. Eli at quarterback. It's Fitzpatrick at running back. And with that H-back look. And they get it out, and the completion up to about the 44-yard line. So another different look, just trying to spring something for McCallum as Avi Rappaport makes the catch.
Well, Rappaport did the outside. That's a nice job just getting that football off. Had pressure right in his face, adjusting up, and positive yards on first down. Now 2nd and 6 is a lot different look.
Blitz coming over the middle, and that ball is picked. Intercepted by Grayson Lake. Just jumped the route. 3rd interception for that Anderson defense.
Tried to lead him back to the inside. It was supposed to be a stop curl, and just a nice job of cutting it to the inside. And if he goes to the outside shoulder with that throw, it's got a chance to be completed, but because it came to the inside, just stepped right in front, comes up with the pick.
Intended for Fletcher Vandegrift. So 3:01 to go. Plenty of time for this Anderson offense to add to a 30-0 lead. Crenshaw, single back look. They floated up too tall to Hatcher.
I believe they had the hook and ladder.
I do too.
I think they had the hook and ladder play on.
Crenshaw was trailing it.
Yes, he was. You saw it just like I did. I said it just couldn't get. Had a linebacker in between and had nowhere to throw it, so he tried to go over the top, to lob it over the top, and it goes incomplete.
That'd be the only reason Crenshaw would come trailing the play like that.
Me too. I think it was coming.
Over the middle, Fulmer has it and loses his helmet, and oh, that's dangerous.
Can't keep playing.
Yeah, that's tough. It's going to be first down and another penalty. Now, Fulmer lost his helmet, but he kept playing. We have seen that call against
the offensive player that keeps playing.
Yeah, because he puts himself in harm's way, and the defense then, it's hard to not react. So that's where the play is blown dead. You could see the referees blowing it dead. Nope. Oh. Boy, that's difficult because
player's still playing.
And
might have been something said afterward.
True.
keeps playing right there. Oh, it was something said afterward.
Well, they're making sure it doesn't get out of hand with the taunting, and now Crenshaw, not much there. And the clock down to 2.5 minutes here. And Anderson scored on every possession other than the one where they went for it and failed on fourth down. Play clock at 10, and now Anderson will. Oh, this is the 2-minute timeout. That's right, high school football now taking the 2-minute timeout, similar to what the college game adopted. Again, the NFL, it's a 2-minute warning. In college and in high school, it's the 2-minute timeout. Not that it matters. It's
well, one is
a timeout at 2 minutes.
Well, one is registered trademark.
Okay. All right. Well,
it is.
They can't sue me.
No. Because you were explaining the rule.
This is the new rule in high school football. So you add this with a hydration break, and I think we've had 4 other timeouts. And it's pretty quick. Well, in fact, McCallum's ready to come back out, and they're keeping him off the field. But
I think it's a full 1-minute timeout.
Yeah, now they're calling him back out.
And it's going to come into play, Roger, at the end of one of these games, because it's going to be each half. Somebody's going to find a way to win a football game because of that extra timeout.
That's right. That gives coaches a little more leeway to use one of their timeouts, knowing they've got the 4th one coming. So it should read 2nd down and 8 on the scoreboard there. There's a little pitch to Fulmer, and fights for some yardage.
He needs to find a way to get that helmet
Yeah,
on.
we've seen that helmet come off several times, and it didn't look like there was a whole lot of contact there to the helmet. Now it'll be 3rd down.
Not in any hurry here
Nope.
with the score. I would think they would try to get vertical right here, maybe try to get this into the end zone in this play.
They might want to hurry a little bit. Play clock down to 5. Derbyshire still lining them up. Snap it at 1. They screen it to Crenshaw and let him do his thing. Oh, what a move. Caleb Crenshaw looks like he's got the 1st down. Lost the ball, but they're going to say he was down, and he was down inside the 15. That's a 1st down.
Well, it just out in the flat, one-on-one. You get one of the best running backs in the state out in that space. It's difficult to get him on the ground. Turf caused the fumble. He was thrown down. The ball came out once he hit the turf, so he was down and down past the line to gain for the 1st down.
Yeah, and the move was nice, Keith, but then the strength. He was wrapped up about 3 yards shy of the 1st down, but strength and momentum carried him to the 1st down. So now Anderson used their 2nd timeout. It says they have 2 remaining, but I believe that was their 2nd timeout.
I concur.
Well, kind of the nightmare scenario for McCallum here. If Anderson punches it in, and basically it could turn into back-to-back possessions. They'll start the 2nd half. You know, we talked to Ben Hatcher about this rivalry, the wide receiver for Anderson, and confident in their ability. Confident to the point where you said, we're going to dominate the coin toss. That's a first.
That's a first.
But they dominated it, but they won the coin toss, so therefore they deferred, and now they'll start the 2nd half with it. Hatcher split wide to the right. That was Anderson's 2nd timeout. They'll go empty here. They split Crenshaw out as well. Derbyshire, pressure coming, eludes it, and now turns it up and dives forward. And they'll use that 3rd timeout with the clock's ran about 3 seconds, but They signal to stop the clock, but
because there was a penalty offsides.
Okay, all right.
On McCallum.
Yeah.
So he'll take the 5 yards.
Yep.
Clock will be stopped until the snap.
This will take it down to the 9-yard line. Crenshaw now in the backfield again with Derbyshire. Keeps it. Wanted that quick hitter over the middle. Not there. And Derbyshire tackled by Flowers. That's a nice open field tackle. That will keep the clock moving. And Anderson will not use that last timeout.
Have second down here, because you could spike it if you want.
Crenshaw with the cut. Another cut. Crenshaw gets to the outside, and you can forget about it. Oh, my goodness, is he special. Just tackling air. Caleb Crenshaw into the end zone.
Well, he shows you, watch him show inside cut right here, show inside cut and then bounce it to the outside and then shows you the speed and just going to outrun everybody to the corner. That's just, the good Lord's bless you with that kind of talent.
And they do it with 20 seconds to go in the half, as Anderson is in control of this one. Caleb Crenshaw going to give some coaches in District 12 5A Division I some long nights preparing for this Anderson offense. Extra point good, and Trojans in control here at House Park. Forget high school football and KXAN Plus tomorrow night. Westlake and Prosper come on the air at 6:50. Kickoff at 7 from Mary Hardin Baylor. Westlake picked as one of the top teams in 6A again. And you look at the national rankings, Keith, and they look a lot like the state of Texas rankings. Obviously, those national rankings, a lot of it's just on name and things like that. But I think you have 4 Texas teams in the national top 20 of high school football.
Well, and I will guarantee you, I spent a little time watching a little bit of high school football over the last 6 or 8 days because they're playing across the country. There's some good teams, but I can tell you there's some really good teams in the state of Texas as well.
So again, Chaparrals tomorrow night. Some other action going on here this evening, trying to get some scores of that action out on this opening night of the high school football season in the state of Texas. Good one up at the field. McNeil and Weiss tied 21 at the half. Osbo to Hensley inside the 5. He's trying to make something happen, and he will not get out to the 25. And more. It's hard for them just to get away from the pile. And I'm telling you, both sides, Keith, helmets just coming off left and right.
Yeah, I would want to get mine strapped on a little bit. When are we running around on a football field without a helmet?
So Vista Ridge leading Killeen 20-7 in the third. Leander and Pflugerville tied 14 all, heading midway through the third quarter. Hayes leading Elgin 40-7. That game in the second quarter. East Side over Navarro 30-0 at the half. So pretty big slate of games here on this first Thursday, and they'll just take a knee and take it to the half. Anderson Trojans in control of this one. It was a 7-0 game late in the first quarter.
And with the Knights with an opportunity with the ball in their only penetration of the night where they had it down inside the 25-yard line. Couldn't come away with any points, and Trojans really finished that second quarter.
Halftime here at House Park. And we will have the halftime performances for you. It's Texas high school football. It's brought to you by Thomas J. Henry on KBVO. Continues after this.
(24/7) reliable plumbing and air conditioning service in Central Texas. Just call Radiant.
When you're touring any care community, whether it's for individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities or not, staffing makes a big difference. Ask about staff to resident ratios. More support means better safety and engagement. Confirmed caregivers receive regular specialized training. And ask about overnight staffing. Consistency helps everyone thrive. The right questions today can help you make a more informed choice. Visit KXAN.com/simplehealth for more.
Think of your fellow man, lend him a helping hand, put a little love in your heart.
From recognizing our teachers to supporting schools across our state, HEB loves helping our youngest Lone Stars shine bright. Proud supporters of Texas teachers and schools.
April showers bring May hailstorms. When it's time to replace your roof, make the switch to Jamar Roofing and Sheet Metal. So next time the storm hits, you're better protected. Customize your new roof. Choose the material, color, texture. Trust the brand with Austin's only 3-star President's Club award from GAF. We take pride in making sure you feel taken care of from start to finish. Jamar Roofing, local and family owned for over 50 years. JamarRoofing.com.
Welcome to Thrive Medical, where your primary care is our primary focus. Our experienced team provides compassionate, comprehensive care, all in an unrushed, warm and welcoming environment. Same-day appointments available. Schedule now at thrivemedical.com.
Drink more water. Staying hydrated supports blood flow and heart function. For more tips, go to KXAN.com/simplehealth.
I wish I had a place to see some new movies.
She's getting bored with you. Find something more interesting to do than sit on this couch.
I would just like some peace. And maybe a comedy.
Oh, do we have a solution for you? How about a film pass to see as many movies and world premieres as you can over 8 days? For more information, go to AustinFilmFestival.com.